Okay, so Emily, if you would go ahead and read our disclaimer real quick and we'll get rolling.
Sure thing. This opportunity is the opportunity of a lifetime, is brought to you by independent Plexus ambassadors and is not sponsored by Plexus Worldwide. At Plexus Worldwide, we want you to know that the results you are about to hear may vary from person to person, and we do not claim to cure, treat, or prevent any disease.
Yes, thank you, Emily. Well, y'all, welcome to the call tonight. We're so excited to share with you about blood sugar stabilization. If you do not know, that is a huge deal. And I'm so glad that you're investing in your health and taking time to learn a little bit tonight. We promise to be brief and we promise to have a little bit of fun along the process. And we have some amazing women here tonight who are going to share some personal testimonies, some knowledge that they've gained from their profession and research that they've done. So my name is Christy. I am a Silver Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and I'm happy to host this evening. We will have time for questions and answers at the end. So if there's something that kind of gets the gears turning, go ahead and write that down. We'll save it to the end, and between the ladies on this call, we'll get everything answered. And if we don't know the answer, guess what? We'll figure it out for you. So I am so excited again that you guys are here. I'm going to go ahead and play Maria Posner. She could not be here this evening, but she is going to share a video I'm going to share a video that she pre-recorded that's just going to get the ball rolling tonight, talking about blood sugar stabilization and how we can do that naturally. So let me, I'm going to try to share my screen.
Hey guys, my name is...
Pause. Okay. Sorry, this is, it's technical. Okay, so let me share my screen and boom. Okay, and we will get started. So give me a thumbs up if you can see Maria. Perfect. Okay, and then I'm going to hit play.
Maria Posner.
Can you hear her?
Ambassador with you with Plexus Worldwide. I'm super excited to be here with you tonight, and I'm just gonna go through a few ways that we can control blood sugar in a natural way. The first is increasing protein intake, which sounds super simple, but it can be a challenge. Compared to carbohydrates, protein keeps blood sugar levels steady, and the American Society for Clinical Nutrition has stated that people with type 2 diabetes who increase their protein intake can lower up to 40% their sugars than those who do not. So this suggests that protein is a neutral food for blood sugar levels, and they can replace at least some carbohydrates to yield a better overall sugar response. And one great alternative to consuming more protein is adding a protein powder to your diet, whether it is for a healthy breakfast, which is super filling, a good afternoon snack, or you can be a little bit more creative and add your protein powder to your pancakes or do some protein bowls. So there are many options to do it, and Plexus offers an amazing protein powder, P96, which is gluten-free. It contains 50 grams of protein and is only 100 calories. So that is a very easy way to help control your blood sugars. The second way is with chromium. Chromium is a metallic element that humans require in some amounts, and it is an essential part of the metabolic process that regulates blood sugars. It helps insulin transport glucose into cells where it can be used for energy. Chromium also seems to be involved in the metabolism of carbohydrates, fat, and protein. So we recommend Plexus Slim, which is rich in chromium and has shown amazing results for people with type 1 and type 2 diabetes, and also those who are pre-diabetic or have hypoglycemic issues. So Plexus Slim, it's a phenomenal supplement that you can add super easy to your regimen. You just pour the powder on a bottle of water, mix it, and take it once a day, and it will help regulate your blood sugars. This third amazing thing that you can do to regulate your blood sugars is gut health. The bacteria that lives within your gut produces protein that have an assertive influence on those chemical detectors. And when the gut micro is out of balance, your microbes might not be optimally collaborating with your cells, which can cause all sorts of issues. And I'm sure Cheryl can answer some more questions since she's an RN and has a lot more knowledge than I do. Um, but those can also can include the fluctuation of glucose levels and energy hematosis. So that's why the goal is regulating blood sugars natural, or when we're trying for people to um, go towards a more natural route or add to their regular treatments, we always recommend gut health. And for that, you need a high quality protein probiotic. Our probiotic is like no other. Probio 5 not only replaces or gives you good bacteria, but it has digestive enzymes and it has an antifungal. So Probio 5 is a must-have for you to control those blood sugars. And the last product that I want to mention is magnesium. Based on information from the National Institute of Health, magnesium is practically a wonder drug. Yet few people really know about it, and a few doctors are starting to recommend it. It helps maintain muscles and nerves, regulates blood sugars, promotes normal blood pressure, and prevents heart attacks. Some of the statements from the National Institute of Health said that results from 3 very large studies indicate that people who consume a diet rich in magnesium have a lower risk of getting type 2 diabetes, which is huge. But we know that unfortunately, due to our soils, it's hard to get those nutrients from food only, and that's why we recommend supplementing. BioClean is our magnesium supplement in our Plexus line. It is incredible. It helps also with other issues like detoxing or going number 2. So that's what I have for you. I'm sure Cheryl will expand, and then we have an awesome testimony coming your way.
All right. Okay, so that was Maria, and she shared some really great tidbits. What I loved about her little talk there, I love our P96 protein. It's amazing. And she mentioned using it for breakfast, and that's something that I've been doing. You know, breakfast is not something that was in my normal routine, and so this is something that I have been easily able to add. And I think that's the key here, are easy changes that are sustainable. We talk about that a lot. So next up, I'm going to introduce my friend Emily. She is she's an amazing person. She's a type 1 diabetic, and so she has a personal testimony about these products, maybe even some that Maria had just mentioned. And we're excited to hear from you, Emily. So go ahead, take it away.
Awesome, thanks. Yes, my name is Emily. I am also a Plexus ambassador. I am a type 1 diabetic. I was diagnosed 7 years ago, so I'm kind of a late bloomer in the type 1 field, but, you know, I took it and I rolled with it. So I want to start by saying, really, the reason I started taking Plexus products was because I saw Christy, and she was posting on Facebook. I had no energy, guys. I couldn't stay awake or focused at work, and I needed a nap every day. And I'm a mom, and I was taking a nap with my kid while she was doing homework. So I needed a change. So that's why I started these products. And then I saw so many different changes in places that I wasn't expecting, just because I didn't know really what I was getting into. I just knew I needed energy. So I'm going to go over really the 3 biggest changes that I saw, and there are many more, and that's cholesterol, cravings, and blood sugars. So my cholesterol has always been between 200 and 220, and my endocrinologist has always wanted it under 200. And I didn't want to take any kind of medication for it, so I kind of tweaked with my diet. But before starting any of these products, my cholesterol was 220, and in, I think, August, my cholesterol came back at 185. So I was super excited because for 7 years I was over 200, and suddenly it dropped significantly. Now the cravings is something else that I didn't expect. I had a Diet Coke every single day. I couldn't go a day without one, and I don't drink Diet Coke anymore. I don't need them. I don't crave them. And I attribute that to the Slim. I'm not sure, I don't know for sure if that's it, but that's what I say. And then the blood sugars. My blood sugars, the doctor tests your A1C every time I go in. and they want it below 7, and I've never been below 7. I've always been between 7 and 8. And I know that I'm just throwing the numbers out at you, but if you're diabetic, you know what these numbers mean. And so a few months ago, when I was at the doctor and he gave me my cholesterol numbers, my A1C was 6.8. So below 7, like I'm meeting all of these goals. And the only thing that has changed is taking these products. And I take them every day and I take them consistently. I will touch on the protein because it is hard for me to get protein in my diet without like a fatty protein, like a hamburger with that meat in there. So the Plexus P96, love this stuff. I'm a vanilla. I love vanilla everything. So I found this week a new snack. I put this in vanilla yogurt and I mix it in. I mix about 8 ounces. And that's a lot for one serving, but I eat it in 2 servings in one day. So you got 15 grams of protein in this. Yogurt has protein. I add granola because I like the crunch, and I add berries. Now, again, going back to the diabetes, this is a lot of carbs. It's over 50 grams of carbs in this one snack, which I really split in 2. But with the amount of protein that's in it, like Maria said, it does slow down the absorption of carbs. And that's how I get my blood sugars more stabilized. So then I can have all this fruit and yogurt, but with all the protein, it evens it out. So I get excited when I find a solution for something that just seems like it should be so simple, like a yogurt parfait, but it always spikes my blood sugar up. And so now I found a way to get that protein in and kind of avoid the roller coaster, if you will. I think that's really all I'm going to touch on. Of course, I could talk for hours about the changes I've seen in my life, but I won't. So I'll turn it back to you, Christy, or I guess, I don't know if Cheryl's.
Yeah, so it's something I love, Emily, thank you for sharing. I love that. Okay, y'all don't know this, she didn't say this, but Emily also has a culinary degree. And so if you guys are wanting some good recipes, let us know. We'll add you to our community page. It's kind of top secret, but Emily gives us some really great recipes that are, I mean, they're super fun. First of all of her videos are super funny and amazing. No pressure. Emily, keep that going. And the information is phenomenal. She does the research, and she needs to do the research for her own health. And so she's definitely looking out for our health as well. So if you guys are looking for some inspiration, first follow Emily on her Facebook page, and then make sure to let me know. We'll add you to our community page. We'll just adopt you right in there, and you can get those amazing benefits as well. So thank you, Emily, for sharing. I love that these products have changed your life. I've seen it in you, and I'm just thrilled. So next up, we have Miss Cheryl Lowe. She is another amazing Plexus ambassador who has had personal testimony with these products. She is also a Mayo Clinic trained registered nurse. Correct me if I'm wrong, Cheryl, and it just has a wealth of information to share with us tonight. She is going to go over that now. Cheryl, take it away, girl.
Oh, thank you, Christy. That was so sweet of you to introduce me like that. I'm very flattered.
You're welcome.
I'm just a mom. I've been a stay-at-home mom for a long time. My specialty is pediatrics and NICU with some mother baby help. So, well, my testimony is going back. I was actually raised by a doctor. My dad's an MD. And I was raised in a very skeptical household where I was really closed-minded about supplements. And I was more or less taught that really only FDA-approved drugs, clinical trials were things that were acceptable in the medical community. So anything that was supplementation-oriented was stuff for hippies up in the hills and people that really had no medical education. So that's what I thought. And so I was kind of a medical snob in that way. But boy, was I wrong. So I think what it was is I was just not exposed to understanding the connection between gut health and overall health. And so, of course, I did what, a good daughter would do of a dad who's a doctor, and you just basically stick with medically approved drugs and so on. And so I was actually very surprised to come across Plexus. What happened is I was going along raising my kids, and I had a number of years where I was exposed to a ton of illnesses. And of course, being a pediatric nurse, I think I picked up everything in the hospital. I was so sick for such a long time. Then I had my own kids, and they would pick up croup and all kinds of other yucky things, where my husband and I were each sick about 5 or 6 times a year, requiring antibiotics, over-the-counter medications just to get healthy and better so we could function. And that honestly destroyed my gut. So lo and behold, I'm in my late 40s and I start developing these symptoms. So they're getting more and more pronounced. And I found out that I had leaky gut syndrome. And I'm like, what the heck is leaky gut syndrome? I'd never heard about it. I didn't know what it was. I got that information by going to hire a nutritionist because I was, 14 years postpartum, and I still was trying to get those last 10 pounds of baby weight off. And I was doing this yo-yo cyclical thing that I think some women just go through, and I was one of them. And it all is tied together, as I figured out later. Really, the antibiotics and all the over-the-counter medications ended up just destroying my gut health, set me up for leaky gut syndrome. And if you're not familiar with that, in a nutshell, it's basically tiny little microscopic holes that line the colon that allow proteins to escape out and to settle into different parts of the body. And you end up manifesting the symptoms of that with, of course, depending on whatever your symptoms are. For me, it settled in my joints, and so I had some joint discomforts. I had stiffness. I had chronic headaches. I had a number of issues like the yo-yo weight cycle that I was so frustrated with, that actually pushed me into hiring a nutritionist who said, you have leaky gut. And that plunged me into doing a ton of research. I Googled everything, and I went to the medical websites and I went to the holistic websites. Long story short, I tried something and it put me in bed for 3 months. And I go, well, surely the supplementation really isn't the right answer for me. Well, the wrong supplementation is not the right answer. So I saw my friend Delana Hill posting about Plexus on Facebook of all places. And I'm like, what is this? And she kept posting about it. And I was actually a little turned off. I'm like, I'm just going to scroll past. I got to one point where I almost unfriended her because she was posting so much about it. But at the same time, I go, well, if I unfriend her, I won't get to read these fascinating stories. And I'm a people person, and they were really, really fascinating stories about people who had some pretty nasty disorders taking these products and feeling better and doing life again. And I was really intrigued by that. So long story short, I ordered the triplex. I thought the only way to know is to try it. So I tried it, and oh my God, the very first day, my first drink of the pink drink, Slim, I was like brain alive. I had been like in a brain fog for like 15 years since my daughter was born. And I'm like, what is that? It's like crack. I can't get enough of it. So within 2 months, I realized my headaches were gone. I started dropping weight, and that was surprising to me. And I thought, well, when is the yo-yo going to swing the other direction? But in 4 months, I realized that my seasonal reactions to pollen and the lung spasms that went with it, that cleared up. I dropped 2 sizes. My joint issues were so much better. My chronic headaches were gone. I felt energy. The thing that you get when you're feeling worried about stuff, I would wake up in the middle of the night and I was always kind of obsessing about my kids. Are they okay? Because I had sick kids a lot. My second one, it had croup quite often, and so I just worried. So long story short, those things started to clear up, and I was still, can you believe this? I was still in denial that Plexus had anything to do with this. I was that hard-headed, and I was such a mindset that this can't work. So it wasn't really until a year onto Plexus that I'm like, you know what? I feel absolutely amazing. The only thing I've done is add Plexus to my life. I've gone to doctors that have been diagnosed with, you're healthy, you're fine. Oh, you have this disorder, but that's, very livable. Could not believe that Plexus would do what it did for me. So I started going into research. And so that's what turned me around and realized these are really a gold mine of products. What I found was this little bag right here of Slim comes in 30 stick packs right here. You open it up, you put it in your water, you shake it up, and you drink it. And you just do that one time a day. What that does is that is full of some really, really good ingredients for your body. And what it helps to do is replenish what we're missing. So it's full of things like chromium polynicotinate. That's a product that's found in mushrooms, prunes, broccoli. It's used for blood sugar control. It helps to lower the bad cholesterol and raise the good cholesterol. There's chlorogenic acid in there. That's found in foods like bamboo, prunes, peaches, and some other plants. That is a known aid in lowering blood pressure. It's also got some antioxidant effects on it. It's used to reduce the bitterness in foods, so it helps to obviously give it the sweet taste that it has. It also slows the release of sugars into the bloodstream after you eat. Super, super important ingredient to have in a supplement. There's alpha lipoic acid. That one is, I know doctors who will prescribe just alpha lipoic acid for people because that one is a really beneficial one. That one's found in foods like spinach, broccoli, peas, brewer's yeast, Brussels sprouts, rice bran, potatoes, organ meats. That has an anti-inflammatory agent in it. So that is going to work on some of that inflammatory response that we get from all the other damaging effects from chemical exposure, medications that we take, the chemicals in foods that we eat, those actually all cause that response. It helps to break down carbohydrates. It helps to work as an antioxidant. It's also fantastic for hypertension, liver disease. I mean, there's a long, long list of alpha lipoic acid and what it does for the body. Super beneficial. It was actually created for type 2 diabetics, and what they found when they did the original control group on the product, they were testing it, they found that all subjects not only had stable blood sugar after 2 weeks, but everybody lost weight on it after a month. Now that's pretty incredible when you think 100% of the participants. So they did another clinical study this last summer in Salt Lake City. And what they found, they did over 450 test subjects, people that were type 2 diabetics, and they were all different sizes and shapes. 100% achieved stable blood sugar after 2 weeks. And then after a month, again, everyone lost weight on it. So they also tested not only just this product right here, but they tested the triplex combo, which is a combination of the Slim, the ProBio 5, and the BioCleanse. Remarkable results with the triplex combo. Everybody in the control group, again, lost something like 7.2 pounds was the average compared to the placebo group. So I was actually very impressed with those results. Again, you cannot argue with results, my own results included. Fantastic. If you want to lose weight, if you have a blood sugar issue going on, if you've got insulin resistance going on, this is the product that you want to be on.
I love that. Cheryl, I loved what you said about, well, you and Emily both alluded to this, that the only thing you changed was Plexus. And you didn't change anything else, but you had done that, and all these things magically started coming in line. Well, we know it's not magic. It's amazing products. And something else, Cheryl, I love that you said, I feel like we need to make a quote out of this. You said that you thought supplementation was not the answer, but you're wrong. It's the wrong supplementation is not the answer. And so I love that you have found the right supplementation in Plexus. I mean, we know these products are amazing, and the ingredients are top notch. And obviously, if they weren't, we wouldn't be seeing these amazing results. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, thank you for sharing that. What we're going to do now, you guys, I'm going to unmute the call. And if anything sparked your interest, if you have any questions, anything at all that you want to ask these two ladies, Emily, Cheryl, we would love to answer that. If you don't have any questions, that's okay too. We can end the call a little bit early. But I just want to open that up to you guys real quick.
What?
This is if you guys have any questions about anything that Cheryl said, anything that Emily said. We've got 2 experts in the house. So if you have any question about blood sugar stabilization, now's the time.
Any minute now.
No? Okay, you guys. Well, I just, as long as there are no questions, going once, going twice. Sold. Okay, y'all. So there are no questions this evening. I just want to personally thank Maria for creating that video for us. Emily, thank you for your time. Cheryl, thank you for your time. Y'all, these products are amazing, and I know that our lives have been changed by them. Hopefully, if you're not on them yet, you'll just get back to the person who invited you to this call this evening. Cheryl, Emily, did y'all have anything you wanted to say and wrap up, or no? Yeah, yeah.
No, I mean, feel free to friend me or message me if if y'all don't want to ask questions.
Yeah, that's a great point. So if you guys wanted to friend Emily or Cheryl or myself, everyone's open to that. We love kids. Just FYI, they're usually on all of our phone calls, so no worries. But Emily, can you spell your last name for them?
It's Ficus, F like Frank, Eikes.
Okay, so Emily Ficus, Feikes, if you guys are wanting to ask her any questions. And then Cheryl's name is on the screen, last name Lowe. And then my last name is Stout. So if you guys are wanting to ask us any questions and you're just not comfortable here, that's totally fine. We would love to answer those offline. So it was my pleasure to lead you guys through this evening, host this amazing event. Thank you, ladies, for pulling this together and sharing your knowledge and your passion. It completely shines through when y'all are on screen, on the phone, in person. I just love it. Y'all like charred me up. So, thank you again for joining us on the call, you guys, and we will see y'all later. Bye.
Bye.